Hi, my babies, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl, Virgo Garden. If you don't know, now you know. Anything you need to know about little old me will be down below in the description box. You do not have to be a Virgo to watch this video. Hi, my babies. Hi, my babies. Hi. We're going to go ahead and get right into this video, but quick announcements. Today is the last day to book me for a $20 one question reading. And yeah, so this is part 2 of trilogy. I was trying to tell you, if you have not watched episode 24, please go watch episode 24 before you watch episode 25, because this is a 3-part thing in order for you to keep up, okay? So this time we are going to be talking about when you don't vibe with the tribe. Oh man. Okay. This one here, good God. So we're going to be talking about, because it's going to be long enough, Envy and Lizzo. So Picasso had invited me to perform at another event. I don't know why I kept taking this man events for, because now that I think about it in hindsight, the events he invited me to that he wasn't running himself came with negativity. But okay, so he had invited me to perform at an event for Black History. And that's where I met Lizzo and Envy at. And now both of them are younger than me. Lizzo was in college, and Envy, I don't know. Okay, y'all find out, okay? You'll find out. So I performed, and after my performance, Lizzo had came up to me and she was like, "Oh, you did so good, and you know, can I take a picture with you?" So she had asked Envy to take a picture. And I don't have an issue with taking pictures with people after the show or whatever. So I was like, yeah, you could have a picture with me, sweetheart, of course. So Envy took the picture or whatever, and then they both asked me, could they add me on Facebook? Well, Lizzo asked, could she add me on Facebook? And I was like, yeah, you can add me on my personal Facebook. So she added me on my personal Facebook, and then eventually, somehow, somewhere down the line, Envy had ended up adding me on her personal Facebook too. So they're both on my Facebook, and at this point in time, I'm not really having any conversation with them at all. But I had announced publicly that I was doing readings. So they both had booked me for readings. Now, I don't remember which one of them, but for one of them, I had ended up doing a free reading or whatever. But Envy is more of an extrovert. She's more outgoing than Lizzo is. And Lizzo is a Virgo. And she's clingy, and she got like some serious attachment issues where she always got to be like up under her friends, or she want her friends to come with her somewhere, or she got to know what her friends are up to. And Envy is more of an energy chameleon, which is basically someone who will read your energy and act like the person that your energy is radiating out. So me and Envy ended up talking way more than me and Lizzo did. And Lizzo actually ended up becoming jealous of that. So that did create an underlying issue somewhere later on down the line. Yeah, I'm trying to speed this up as much as I can, because good God, okay? So also something else that happened was I started becoming more active on my Instagram page, my Virgo Garden Instagram page. So one of Envy's, and I do mean one of hers, hint, hint, Boy Toys, he was a Virgo, and so I guess like through a suggestion, you know how like Instagram do suggestions and stuff, he ended up following me. Or either she was talking, you know, that's probably what it was. She was probably talking about me to him. But he started following me, and I had posted something on my Instagram page from the reading I had posted on my YouTube. And he thought I was coming at him. Little unbeknownst to me, they had got into it, and the shit was ugly. I mean, it was ugly, but I didn't know that it was that daggone deep, though. So he thought I was coming at him, and me and him ended up having a whole cussing war on another Instagram page that I have. Like, it was ridiculous, y'all. And I had to end up blocking him. Also, another thing was Envy started venting to me about how she felt about Lizzo and how she felt like Lizzo was too clingy and how she was too insecure and basically just low vibrational, which she is. And I would let her vent though, because I know how it feels to have clingy friends. I can't stand clinginess. My God. So Lizzo is like really, really sensitive, and she would get mad at you for doing or saying anything that she felt was critical. Like one time I remember I was in this spiritual group on Facebook. Like, please don't add me to no more spiritual groups. Please, okay? I can't do the spiritual groups on Facebook. I can't, because it'd be a hot mess. But she had added me to this group, and I would comment every once in a while. Like somebody had a question, I knew the answer to it. Why not share the knowledge? But one time Lizzo had posted this video, and like she was panicking, and she was like, oh my god, I can't get my sage to go out, guys. What am I supposed to do? And I'm thinking, Lord, this young child. And me and a couple of other people, like, we hit the laughing emoji because that shit was funny to us. But it was funny to me because I've been there before, so I wasn't necessarily laughing at you, but I'm laughing at the fact that I remember how this shit was when I was trying to figure it out. In the midst of me answering her and telling her how to put it out, because the child then left out her grandma's house because she had came home for the weekend from college. So she was at her grandma's house, and the child then came out her grandma's house, and it's like midnight, y'all, in the middle of her grandma's street with burning sage, damn near about to cry, on the verge of crying, because she can't figure out how to put the sage out. And I'm like, sweetheart, and I'm typing her, and I'm like, sweetheart, all you gotta do is, just dab some water on it, put it up under the water for a little bit, it'll go out. Like, that's all you gotta do. Like, if you, try to get it to, smolder out or whatever the fuck it is, and it don't work, just put some water on it. The shit will burn again when you put fire to it. Just let it dry out. So she got mad because we laughed at her, though. And then on top of that, I was trying to figure out, why would you leave out the house with it? Because the whole point of sage is to clear out the negativity in the house. And that's what I be meaning when I be saying stop fucking with shit when you don't know what you fucking with. She seen somebody on a reality TV show said that they burn sage and shit, and that's how all this shit started. Because somebody on reality TV talking about something, they burn sage. So you fucking with some shit, you don't even know what you're doing. All the windows was closed in your house, because she did go back in her house, and I'm like, Lord have mercy. Lord. But in the midst of her frustration, she don't understand she was pushing people away that was actually trying to help her, because I wasn't the only person that was trying to help her, because somebody else was typing too at the same time. And I've had that happen to me plenty of times when I'm saging and it won't go out, and you try to muffle it out. And so I was trying to tell the girl, just put a little bit of water on it, but that kind of started, I noticed, like, she started getting a little distant after that. So Envy's venting about Lizzo turned into straight up fake bitch talking shit about someone she called a friend. And that's when I started getting a little confused. And I had to tell her quite a few times, I'm like, Envy, ain't that your friend though? And she was like, oh yeah, you right, girl. I shouldn't be talking about her like that, huh? I was going in. She be laughing. And I'll be like, okay, well, damn. Y'all close friends and shit. This lady done bought you a mattress because you was sleeping on the floor in your apartment. You hoeing with your entire apartment building. I mean, she got a bay on the 3rd floor. She got a bay on the 2nd floor. She got a bay on the 1st floor. She got a bay in the other building. I'm like, girl. She was like, well, girl, shit, I got to pay my rent. And I'm like, oh, Lord. And you call yourself spiritual, though. So at this point, like I said, I was way closer to Envy than I was to Lizzo. And my charity had a raffle giveaway to raise money to buy sneakers for kids in the hood, in a low-income area. So somehow, by the universe, Envy ended up winning that raffle. Because I had, like, raffle tickets and everything. And Envy ended up winning that raffle. And just so happened, she also needed to get her hair done. And she was like, do you know anybody that braid hair? And I was like, yeah, my homegirl such and such, she usually braid my hair. So I let her come over my house because at this point I was talking to her every week on Facebook anyway. I felt comfortable with her. I consider her a little sister. big mistake, which I am still learning apparently. And so she came over to my house. My homegirl did her hair or whatever, and she came and she got her prize box. I also found out that she sings and also that she writes. So I added her to this group that I have on Facebook for creatives. So she would post a lot in there. So I'm like, oh, this is good that she's in here. She's posting a lot. She's motivating other people to post and stuff. And then she's commenting and supporting other people posts. And then I thought she was kind of dope too. But I also started noticing she would get jealous when I would get more love or like attention on my posts than she would on hers. So I had got this job, right, where I had to fly to Cali. And that's where like my training was. It was in Cali. And I was going to be gone for 9 days. And I had never been on a plane before. So this was a big fucking deal to me. And I had never been off. Well, I've been off the East Coast, but I never been to the West Coast before. So this was like a big ass deal to me. So I had a whole little kickback, twin flame came through, Y'all find out more of the details of that when the twin flame story come about. So I had to kick back or whatever. I ended up getting on the plane 2 days after my kickback. And when I left is when I noticed our relationship started changing. She didn't talk to me as much. She wasn't as excited as she used to be to talk to me. And I just noticed like her energy was off. But somehow, whenever she needed to vent about something, she always, like her family, because she was going through a lot with her family, or like I said, she was doing whatever she had to do to pay rent, or whenever she needed to vent about that, or like people that were just getting on her nerves or whatever, somehow she always remembered my inbox, mysteriously somehow. And also, she was still talking shit about Lizzo, and like she was going in, and I'd be like, Envy, that's your friend. You're not supposed to be talking about her. So at this point now, I feel uncomfortable because now I feel like the mutual person that need to speak up and say something. I want to inbox this girl and be like, yo, girl, your friend be talking shit about you. And I think you might need to evaluate your friendship, because I be damn I had any friend that talk about me like that. And then she bought you a air mattress so you wouldn't be sleeping on the fucking floor. Like, you an asshole for that shit. But I mean, Envy's a Cancer, so you know how that shit go. But so the sad thing is, right, before I even decided to be like her honorary sister or like her spiritual guide, her mentor, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I ended up talking to somebody who was a mutual friend. And they told me, they was like, Nina, I'm trying to tell you, you don't want to fuck with her like that. She's like legit crazy. And I'm like, listen, people call me crazy, bipolar, this, that, and the third. And that shit is not true. And sometimes it just be a fucking misunderstanding. And I like to live by the motto of left eye, which is people call shit crazy that they don't understand. So I like the people that society like to put down and judge, the underdogs, those are the people I give a chance to. So I was like, well, I'll find out for myself. Cause I'm like, I think I could help the girl. And I was doing readings for her and stuff. Matter of fact, she was paying and Lizzo wasn't. That's what it was. So I'm thinking that, I could help her. But apparently I was wrong, okay? But every time I talked to her, I felt drained. But I know she had been through a lot. She'd been abandoned by everybody. She was adopted. Like, y'all, it was just a lot. But this is what I mean when I tell y'all not to self-sacrifice yourself. I also started noticing that Envy became more and more jealous of like my Facebook posts because I perform and I be vending and I was traveling and I was here and I was there. And also Lizzo had hit me up, who I hadn't talked to in a while, just out the blue, and she asked me if I wanted to go to the beach. Now at this point in time, I'm uncomfortable with both Lizzo and I'm also uncomfortable with also Envy. And I'm thinking this poor child don't even know that her friend is dragging her. So I told her no, and I was like, just no. I just don't want to go. So I noticed after I had that conversation with Lizzo, after she asked me to go to the beach with her and Envy, and I was like, no, And she was like, why not? I was like, just no, okay? I just don't want to go. I noticed that Envy started taking shots at me in my group and her little rhymes and her little posts and shit. So I had to post up one right quick and let her know, bitch, I see you and this ain't what the fuck you want when it comes to these lyrics. So eventually, I let like 2 weeks go by and it's still a little petty shit. And I'm the type of person, if you don't come to me and put a stamp on it and address it like a letter, then bitch, I ain't got time for it. So I deleted her ass. Cause bitch, I done did way too much shit for you. We ain't even got the time to sit here and be naming the shit I done did for this girl. And ain't asked for nothing and wouldn't even expect to see it back. I did it out the kindness of my heart. I just let you go with love and peace. So I thought, right? And I also ended up deleting Lizzo because I just wasn't comfortable. And I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing by deleting Lizzo because I'm taking myself out the drama. I just get rid of both of y'all because there's too much drama around y'all quote unquote friendship. But apparently I was wrong with that too. Now this is how some shit come back and bite you in the ass. Matter of fact, y'all, I actually forgot a part. So we gotta go back a little bit. When I came back from Cali, me, Lizzo, and Envy had ended up at this event. This lady had asked me to come and do some poetry. Lizzo can sing. I ain't gonna lie. Lizzo can sing her motherfucking ass off. That girl has a very, very soulful voice. I think she's very dope, and I think she's very beautiful. But them insecurities sometimes can make somebody an ugly person. I'm trying to tell you. And I don't think she's ugly at all on the outside. But also, Envy was there. Now, Lizzo was performing. I was performing. Somebody else that y'all going to hear about that I'm going to call friend. She was also performing because she had just put out an album. And it was my first time meeting her. And we had been Facebook friends for like maybe 2 years. But we had never met though. But we had liked each other's stuff. So I was over there talking to her. So we're all performing, me, friend, and Lizzo. Envy is manning the door, y'all. So do you understand when I say the jealousy? There's no security there. And they actually let her come up and perform because she asked to perform when she found out everybody was performing. I don't know, y'all, okay? It was a growth, honey. Growth, okay? Growth, I say growth, okay? Whoo! I got up there and did my thing. Just know that. And the crazy thing is, fuck it. It was supposed to be a professional event, meaning that it's supposed to be professional artists. Like when Lizzo got up there, she sung her motherfucking soul out. She killed it. There were other poets that were there. I was the only one who was not reading off my phone or a piece of paper. I felt a little bit out of place. So when I got up there, I was performing and I fucked up one line. And it was towards the beginning of the poem and it was a long ass poem. And I heard somebody say, she fucked up. So I went hard as a bitch and I made everybody clap for me when I was done. That's what I mean when I say transmute that energy. Because if I would have got stuck on that person saying, oh, I fucked up one line out of a poem that has like 70 lines, bitch, fuck you. But Envy was sitting over there and she saw all of us performing. And then we all got a piece of artwork too, which was dope. Because the lady who was having the event, her father was an artist, so he contacted us before the show and found out like what piece we were doing and stuff. And he already had like pieces he had drawn up and he finished them while we was performing in front of everybody. So Envy was feeling envy. You see why she got the name Envy? It's for a reason. So she was feeling some type of way about that as well. So now I kept doing my performances. Especially whenever Picasso would ask me, because I had mad respect for Picasso. Keyword had. And so I would come and perform at events, and over the years, you know, me and Picasso had a great business association, because it wasn't a friendship. I thought it was a business friendship. He thought it was just a friendship. I don't know why he would think that, because my G, you don't check on me. You don't, like, listen. I'm not about to run down the list. You got to know where to place people, okay? But apparently you got to communicate that to people too as well, I'm finding out. But he was a great business associate. Like, somebody needed a poet, he would book me. And that's the only time I would hear from that man, was when either he or somebody needed a poet, he would book me. So, a mutual friend and associate to all of us, me, Picasso, Fran, Envy, Lizzo, we're going to call her Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy, oh girl. She slick with it. So Poison Ivy had moved away for a little bit, and she came back. And I ran into her at an event that Picasso had invited me to perform at. And Fran was there as well, because Fran, she does music, and she also is a photographer. So she was being the photographer that night. So I had ran into Poison Ivy at the event, and she told me she was opening up a culture shop in my hometown. And we had talked about, at this event, about me putting my Queen Alchemy products in there. Now, granted, at the point in time, I had made not one Queen Alchemy product other than the Aura Mist. I had the Abundance Mist, and I had the Energy Cleanse at the point in time. That was all I had, but I knew I was about to make more products, because I already bought all the stuff I needed. So we talked about it, and she was like, oh yeah, you'd be a great fit. So I'm like, okay, cool. But she didn't know when she was going to open up the shop, though. So this was November, I think. Now, where I fucked up at being too honest and apparently not elaborating enough was, in this conversation, I told her I only show up to events that really, like, move me, or people that have shown me love. And somehow that got twisted later on down the line. Like, I don't show up to other people's events that invite me because I don't fuck with them like that. And that's not the case at all. It's because I don't know you. I don't know that crowd. And I got fucking anxiety. Or maybe I didn't have the money at the point in time to get into the fucking event. I mean, shit, I do have a criminal background. The fuck? My goodness, bro. People always swear up and down they know your reasoning without asking you. And that shit be so fucking mind-blowing. My goodness. So in December, or maybe the beginning of January, I think it was like the end of December, she had posted that she was opening up her culture shop. So I commented, I was like, yo, like, we still gonna do that? And she was like, inbox me. So she told me to email her, like, the products I'm going to have, this, that, and the third. So I emailed her and stuff, and she was like, oh, yeah. She was like, yeah, I definitely want you in there. And I sent her some pictures of the products that I had already made. And she was like, oh, yeah, I definitely want your stuff in there. So we set up a date and a time for me to come and sign a contract. So I showed up. I showed her. And I'm looking at the spot. And I ain't judging the spot, because I know, even though the spot is where it is, it's going to make money. Just because of who the people are. It's going to make money regardless. So, for some reason, once again, being open and vulnerable with her, I tell her, yeah. You know, as I'm reading over the contract, I'm like, yeah, something really been bothering me lately. And she was like, what's that? And at this point in time, I had already did my soft launch for Queen Alchemy. But I hadn't announced to the world, though, that I was opening up an apothecary. Only the people who had booked me for their Valentine's Day back in 2020 read, they were the only people who knew about Queen Alchemy before I announced it. And she was like, so what's bothering you? And I told her, I was like, on Valentine's Day, somebody just randomly came up under one of my videos and left this long ass comment talking a whole bunch of bullshit about me that ain't true. Because if it was true, I would own that shit. Trust and believe me. And I was like, that shit's crazy, because I knew, but I didn't tell her this part. I knew it was somebody who knew me, though. But I'm like, why the fuck would they come up here and lie like that, though? That's the part that was bothering me. Like, if you gonna talk about me, tell the truth, okay? Don't lie, though. I was like, that shit was crazy. I didn't tell her what it said, though, but she laughed. And one thing I know to be true, when I tell somebody some shit and they laugh, that mean they know something about it. So I noted it, but I didn't think that that note would be important later on. Oh, but I was wrong. So I ended up signing the contract, and I launched Queen Alchemy February 26, 2020, when she had her grand opening. So at that point in time, I'm thinking this is people I can trust, because she told me like who else was going to have their products in the shop, and I was like, oh yeah, I fuck with them. Oh, that person's cool. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I don't know who that is, but I can't wait to meet them at the grand opening. And so I'm thinking this is people that I could trust, and people that I could support, and that support me, and I was the fuck wrong. So I'm promoting the event heavy. I mean, I'm posting it everywhere. I'm inboxing people, yo, come to the grand opening. I'm starting another business. It's completely different from FAB Boutique. Come and support. This, that, and the third. I'm excited because I know I'm walking my path and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm being obedient. So I'm excited about this shit. And like my mindset has completely shifted from depression and death to life and thriving. So I'm literally promoting that shit every fucking where. And I invited so many people. But one of the people I invited was Picasso. Now, he never opened that message though. Because that message sat there for like damn near a year unopened. But he told me later on, though, the only reason why he showed up to that event was because I invited him. That's what he said. So me and my mom get ready, get dressed, get cute. I'm in pain, and I got to come home and do a reading and do this and do that. And when I say I'm in pain, I am in pain. My chronic pain was acting the fuck up, but I got to go put on heels and look cute because I'm a professional. So we go to the event, and this is when the drama starts. And to be continued. Alright, babies. I'm your girl, Virgo Garden. If you didn't know that shit, I bet you know that shit now. How to follow me, how to book me, and how to get my wonderful, beautiful, amazing products that you all love so much will be down below in the description box. I love you, babies. Trust me when I say I understand some of y'all go through a journey where you're trying to get something done, and it seems like you got so many obstacles and so many people coming at you. Trust and believe. When I say getting Queen Alchemy off the ground was not an easy thing, and with this last Sunday in Mimosa coming up, you're going to find out how many obstacles I legit had to face in one setting. But just know this. No matter what it is, if your heart is set on it, if you feel it like a fire in your veins when you think of it or when you're doing it, that's what you're supposed to be doing. I don't care what come at you, who tell you can't do it, who tell you that you failing or that you'll never get there. As long as you believe in yourself, you stay close with your higher ups, and you do what you're supposed to do, keep working towards it, know that you're going to get there. Think about it. Love you, babies. Mwah.